Djed. 21 languages. The Djed. An ancient Egyptian symbol. Meaning. Stability, is the symbolic backbone of the god Osiris. For other uses, see Djed, disambiguation. The Djed, also Djt, ancient Egyptian, d, Coptic Jt pillar, anglicized /dd/1, is one of the more ancient and commonly found symbols in ancient Egyptian religion. It is a pillar-like symbol in Egyptian hieroglyphs representing stability. It is associated with the creator god Te and Osiris, the Egyptian god of the afterlife, the underworld, and the dead. It is commonly understood to represent his spine. Myth, edit. In the Osiris myth, Osiris was killed by Set by being tricked into a coffin made to fit Osiris exactly. Set then had the coffin with the now deceased Osiris flung into the Nile. The coffin was carried by the Nile to the ocean and onto the city of Byblos in Lebanon. It ran aground and a sacred tree took root and rapidly grew around the coffin, enclosing the coffin within its trunk. The king of the land, intrigued by the tree's quick growth, ordered the tree cut down and installed as a pillar in his palace, unaware that the tree contained Osiris's body. Meanwhile, Isis searched for Osiris aided by Anubis, and discovered Osiris's location in Byblos. Isis maneuvered herself into the favor of the king and queen and was granted a boon. She asked for the pillar in the palace hall, and upon being granted it, extracted the coffin from the pillar. She then consecrated the pillar, anointing it with myrrh and wrapping it in linen. This pillar came to be known as the Pillar of Djed. 2. Problems donating. Other ways to give frequently asked questions. We never sell your information. By submitting, you are agreeing to our donor privacy policy. The Wikimedia Foundation is a non-profit, tax-exempt organization. If you make a recurring donation, you will be debited by the Wikimedia Foundation until you notify us to stop. We'll send you an email, which will include a link to easy cancellation instructions. I already donated. How often would you like to donate? One time give monthly. Please select an amount, USD. The average donation in the United States is around $13. $2.75, $10, $15, $25, $50, $75, $100 other. Please select a payment method. Bank transfer, ACH. Maybe later. 1. Suzo RCN. 2. 3. Continue. The Internet we were promised. The 17th of November, an important update for readers in the United States. You deserve an explanation, so please don't skip this 1-minute read. It's Sunday, the 17th of November, and this message will be up only briefly. Please read on how often you've visited Wikipedia this year and if you're able to give $2.75 to the Wikimedia Foundation. If everyone reading this gave $2.75, we'd hit our goal in a few hours. The Internet we were promised, a place of free, collaborative, and accessible knowledge, is under constant threat. On Wikipedia, volunteers work together to create and verify the pages you rely on, supported by tools that undo vandalism within minutes, ensuring the information you seek is trustworthy. Just 2% of our readers donate, so if you have given in the past and Wikipedia still provides you with $2.75 worth of knowledge. Donate today. If you are undecided, remember any contribution helps, whether it's $2.75 or $25. Proud host of Wikipedia and its sister sites. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Seal ring featuring the inscription PTHDHZWT2. The one with durable favors. Hieroglyphs, read from right. Top, the creator god, to. PTH, gives, enduring, Djed. Favors, i.e. libation offerings. Expressed with the biliteral HZ. Depicted triply for plural. D. In hieroglyphs. Gardner, R11. A scene on the west wall of the Osiris Hall at Abydos. Shows the raising of the Djed pillar. Origin and development, edit. The Djed may originally have been a fertility cult-related pillar made from reeds or sheaves, 3, or a totem from which sheaves of grain were suspended, 4, or grain was piled around. 5. Eric Newman remarks that the Djed pillar is a tree fetish, which is significant, considering that Egypt was primarily treeless. He indicates that the myth may represent the importance of the importation of trees by Egypt from Syria. 6. The Djed came to be associated with Sika, the falcon god of the Memphite necropolis, then with Tu, the Memphite patron god of craftsmen. 7. Tu was often referred to as the noble Djed, and carried a scepter that was a combination of the Djed symbol and the Ankh, the symbol of life. 3. Tu gradually came to be assimilated into Osiris. By the time of the New Kingdom, the Djed was firmly associated with Osiris. 3. In their 2004 book The Quick and the Dead, Biomedical Theory in Ancient Egypt, 8. Andrew Hunt Gordon and Calvin W. Schwabe speculated that the Ankh, Djed, and was symbols have a biological basis derived from ancient cattle culture, linked to the Egyptian belief that semen was created in the spine, thus the Ankh, symbol of life, thoracic vertebra of a bull, seen in cross-section. The Djed, symbol of stability, base on sacrum of a bull's spine. There was scepter, symbol of power and dominion, a staff featuring the head and tail of the god Set, great of strength. Hieroglyphic usage, edit. The Djed hieroglyph was a pillar-like symbol that represented stability. It was also sometimes used to represent Osiris himself, often combined with a pair of eyes between the crossbars and holding the crook and flail. 9. The Djed hieroglyph is often found together with the Tayat, also known as Isis knot hieroglyph, which is translated as life or welfare. The Djed and the Tayat used together may depict the duality of life. The Tayat hieroglyph may have become associated with Isis because of its frequent pairing with the Djed. 10. Ceremonial usage, edit. The Djed was an important part of the ceremony called raising the Djed, which was a part of the celebrations of the Set festival, the Egyptian Jubilee celebration. The act of raising the Djed has been explained as representing Osiris's triumph over Seth. 11. Ceremonies in Memphis are described where the pharaoh, with the help of the priests, raised a wooden Djed column using ropes. The ceremony took place during the period when fields were sown and the year's agricultural season would begin, corresponding to the month of Koyuk, the fourth month of the season of the inundation. This ceremony was a part of one Of the more popular holidays and celebrations of the time, a larger festival dedicated to Osiris conducted from the 13th to 30th day of the Koyuk, celebrated as it was at that time of the year when the soil and climate were most suitable for agriculture. The festival and its ceremonies can be seen as an appeal to Osiris, who was the god of vegetation, to favor the growth of the seeds sown, paralleling his own resurrection and renewal after his murder by Seth. 7. Further celebrations surrounding the raising of the Djed are described in a relief in Amenhotep III's Luxor temple. In the tomb in the temple, the scene shows the raising of the Djed pillar taking place in the morning of Amenhotep III's third Sed festival, which took place in his 37th regnal year. The scene is described by Sigrid Hodel, who ends. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Limestone Pyramidion. Curved sides, no hieroglyphic inscriptions. Relief showing arms of Djed holding sun disk. 2 adoring baboons. From Gurub, Fayum. Dynasty 19. Petrie Museum of Egyptian Archaeology, London. Djed. Constructed of gilded inlay. Onward with red, blue, and green glass. 12. Walters Art Museum. The anthropomorphized pillar stands at the middle left, in a shrine. It has taken the shape of a human body with the Djed pillar as its head. The eyes are Ajat eyes. The hands hold the crook and flail, the usual insignia of Osiris, the god of the dead. On its head is the tall feather crown with the solar disk. The pillar is on a high base reminiscent of the platforms visible today in many temples, on which the cult barks once stood. In front of and behind it are lotus and papyrus blossoms. Beneath the large slab of the base are 2 tall offering stands. One bears a libation vessel, while flowers have been laid on the other. To the right is the king himself, presenting a generously laid table. Fowl, cucumbers, blossoms, breads, and heads and ribs of beef are all lying on the upper mat, while a cow and an antelope can be seen on the lower one. Beneath these mats are 4 tall vessels containing unguents and oil, with bundles of lettuce sticking out among them. The vulture goddess, Wajit, the mistress of the Panu shrine, has spread her protective wings above the sovereign, with the blue crown on his head. 11. Sigrid Hodel, who ends Life and Death in Ancient Egypt, scenes from Private Tombs in New Kingdom Thebes, p. 222. There is also a scene depicted in the tomb to the right of the above scene which has not been well preserved. Hodel, who ends explains that it once showed the pharaoh, accompanied by his queen, using a rope to raise the Djed pillar. 3 men, probably priests of the temple of Memphis, help him in the process. A 4th priest was seen supporting the pillar. Various offerings were presented before the pillar below the ropes. The pharaoh and his queen are each accompanied by 4 pairs of young women resembling those of the said festival. Each of these women is rattling a rutha sistrum, a musical instrument for percussion with a U-shaped handle and frame seen as resembling the face and horns of the cow goddess Atha, while holding a menat, a protective amulet associated with Atha, in the other hand. A line of hieroglyphs running just above the girls' heads in each row of women says, "Children of the king praising, or charming, the noble Djed pillar." Hodel, who ends interprets this as identifying the girls as the daughters of Amenhotep III. 11. There are 3 additional reliefs below these 2 reliefs. They depict further ceremonies that accompany the erection of the Djed pillar, especially games and dances. In 1, food bearers carrying edibles weave between men dancing with heavy steps. A line of singers on the far left seems to sing a short hymn to, the text of which is written alongside the line. Singing and dancing girls can be seen in the next relief, though Hodel comments on their seeming lack of grace, saying, "Only the raised hands and the foot swinging in the air hint at the movements of a dance." The relief also depicts men involved in a boxing match and a stick dance, sports and dances which can still be seen in Egypt today. 11. The festival of the raising of the Djed also involved reenactments conducted at Dendra, Edfu, Busiris, Memphis, and Philae. But the most elaborate and grand celebration occurred at Abydos, the cult center of Osiris. From around the end of the 3rd millennium BC during the beginning of the dynasty 12 and perhaps as early as the dynasty 6 300 years earlier, reenactments of the Osiris myth, the deception and murder of Osiris by Seth, the search for Osiris by Isis and Osiris' mummification, funeral, and his resurrection were performed. From the late 4th century BC, a recitation of the Lamentations of Isis and Nephthys, a poem describing Isis and Nephthys' search for Osiris, was added to the ceremony on the 25th day of Khoiak. At the Osiris temple in Abydos, these reenactments are described as involving hundreds of priests and priestesses in the roles of the gods and goddesses, with 34 reed boats carrying the gods, a sculpture of Osiris inside an elaborate chest, 365 ornamental lamps, incense, and dozens of Djed amulets. 7. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. A Djed amulet with the name of Rameses 9 of the 20th dynasty inscribed upon it. Usage as amulets, edit. The Djed was often used as amulets for the living and the dead. It was placed as an amulet near the spines of mummified bodies, which was supposed to ensure the resurrection of the dead, allowing the deceased to live eternally. 5. The Book of the Dead lists a spell which, when spoken over a gold amulet hung around the mummy's neck, ensures that the mummy would regain use of its spine and be able to sit up. It was also painted on 2 coffins. 3. Amulet depicting the Djed pillar, Egyptian faience, between 722 and 332 BC. Late period. Museo Egizio, Turin. Parallels in other cultures, edit. Parallels have also been drawn between the Djed pillar and various items in other cultures. Sidney Smith in 1922, first suggested a parallel with the Assyrian sacred tree when he drew attention to the presence of the upper 4 bands of the Djed pillar and the bands that are present in the center of the vertical portion of the tree. He also proposed a common origin between Osiris and the Assyrian god Azur, with whom he said the sacred tree might be associated. Cohen and Kangas suggest that the tree is probably associated with the Sumerian god of male fertility, Enki, and that for both Osiris and Enki, an erect pole or pole-like symbol stands beneath a celestial symbol. They also point out that the Assyrian king is depicted in proximity to the sacred tree, which is similar to the depiction of the pharaoh in the raising of the Djed ceremony. Additionally, the sacred tree and the Assyrian winged disc, which are generally depicted separately, are combined in certain designs. Similar to the Djed pillar, which is sometimes surmounted with a solar disk. 13. Catherine Harper and Robert Brown also discuss a possible strong link between the Djed column and the concept of Kundalini in yoga. 14. Photo galleries, edit. Egyptian examples, edit. Examples of works featuring the Djed pillar. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Djed-shaped amulet anthropomorphic example scarab ring featuring the Djed symbol in the seal. Example in staff and hieroglyphs the bronze sphinx of Thutmose III reclining over the 9 bows. The Djed pillars of Dominion are featured on the side of the Sokol. Bir el Shagala Tomb 1, Djed pillar topped by a human head. For the veneration of Osiris. Winged Djed pillar behind Osiris, Temple of Ramses II at Abydos. Djed amulet, Jebel Barkal. 25th Dynasty. Angdjed Was. British Museum, EA 54412. See also, edit. Dendrolite, an inscription including a Djed pillar, sometimes claimed to show electric lighting. References, edit. 1 Coptic Dictionary online. corpling.uis.georgetown.edu. Retrieved 16 March 2017. 2 Mackenzie, Donald Alexander, 2007. Egyptian Myth and Legend, with Historical Narrative, Notes on Race Problems. Comparative Beliefs, etc. Forgotten Books. p. 43. ISBN 978-1-60506-002-6. Retrieved 17 July 2012. 3 ABCD Pinch, Geraldine, 2002. Handbook of Egyptian Mythology. Santa Barbara, Calif., ABCCLIO. p. 127. ISBN 978-1. 57607-242-4. Retrieved 17 July 2012. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 4 Rimler, Pat, 2010. Egyptian Mythology, A to Z, 3rd ed. New York, Chelsea House. pp. 51-52. ISBN 978-1-60413-926-6. Retrieved 17 July 2012. 5 A.B. Nelson, Felicitas H. 2008. Talismans and Amulets. New York, Sterling. p. 25. ISBN 978-1-4027-4625-3. Retrieved 17 July 2012. 6 Newman, Eric, 1999. The Origins and History of Consciousness. London, Routledge. p. 70. ISBN 978-0-415-20944-1. 7 A.B. Sinajovitz, Simson, 2004. Egypt, Trunk of the Tree, A Modern Survey of an Ancient Land. New York, Algora Pub. p. 18. ISBN 978-0-87586-256-9. 8 Gordon, Andrew Hunt, Schwabe, Calvin W., 2004. The Quick and the Dead, Biomedical Theory in Ancient Egypt, 1st edition. Brill/STYX. ISBN 90-04-12391-1. 9. Russman, Edna R. James, Thomas Garnett Henry, Davies, W.V. 2001. Eternal Egypt, Masterworks of Ancient Art from the British Museum. Berkeley, Univ. of California Press. p. 126. ISBN 978-0-520-23086-6. Retrieved 17 July 2012. 10. Ancient Egypt, the Mythology. Retrieved 19 December 2011. 11. ABCD Hodelhuens, Sigrid, 2000. Life and Death in Ancient Egypt, Scenes from Private Tombs in New Kingdom Thebes. Trans. Warburton, David. Ithaca, NY, Cornell University Press. p. 222. ISBN 978-0-8014-3506-5. Retrieved 17 July 2012. 12. Djed Pillar. Walters Art Museum. 13. Kangas, Ada, 2010. Cohen, Stephen E. ed. Assyrian Reliefs from the Palace of Ashurnasirpal II, A Cultural Biography. Hanover, N.H., Hood Museum of Art, Dartmouth College. p. 169. ISBN 978-1-58465-817-7. Retrieved 17 July 2012. 14. Harper, Catherine Ann, Brown, Robert L. 2002. The Roots of Tantra. SUNY Press. p. 97. ISBN 978-0-7914-5305-6. Retrieved 2 July 2012. External links, edit. Egyptian Gods and Goddesses. Categories: Ancient Egyptian Symbols, Egyptian Hieroglyphs, Temple Furniture and Emblems, Egyptian Amulets, Osiris Columns and Entablature. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF.